It's the final round of the Stock Cat Championship in 2012. Round 14 comes from Snetterton then, and again the same grid positions from the earlier race. So Tom Bell and Joe Ferguson on row 1 once again, with Martin Ward and Matt Digby on row 2, with Matt Fincham, Paul Jarvis sitting on row 3, and Terry Roughton and Jake Farndon on row 4. Completing the top 10 on row 5, it's Patrick Fletcher and Philip Wright then. There's C2 there, starting 20th, Jeff Humphreys. Interested to see how he goes. Shane Deegan won the Stars this year, or in the last couple of meetings, along with Rob Drake. They start 23rd and 25th, so we'll watch them come up through the orders. We have done at here and at Donington, but we can start on board then with Paul Jarvis. He starts P6, the race gets underway now then, and it's Joe Ferguson versus Tom Bell off the front row, and they're going for the championship. Good start from Martin Ward. He's trying to come, from Matt Digby. He's trying to come around the outside of Martin Ward. A poor start from Paul Jarvis. Matt Fincham 5th, 6th is Jake Farndon, and as we head into Riches for the first time of asking, and Paul Jarvis gets his car all crossed up, the car slides towards the barriers, he saves it, hit the barriers, comes back across the racetrack in front of the rest of the pack, and somehow everyone else managed to miss him, but there's another action going on further down the road as well. Cars on the grass, and mayhem strikes and begins the race, and it's Steve Howland's replay. He goes up the inside of Roughton, he tags Roughton, he goes round in front, Paul Jarvis is sliding as well, and then Howland just misses, and off as well Matt Digby. So he just missed Paul Jarvis, and Matt Digby was right there as well, but Steve Howland just about survived all that. Ford with two cars spinning in front of him. At Pip Hampton, you see the violent spin Matt Digby had on board with Andrew Harding, as he has the two cars slide in front of him. He had a big slide on as well, missed both of them. There's Paul Jarvis almost taking Steve Howden out. Wayne Harris on the grass, we get hit as well. Shane Deegan had a massive dent in the front of his bonnet. Right, so here come the leaders, and down to Murray for the first time. It's Bell that leads it, Ferguson second, third is Ward, fourth is Farndon, he's had a good first lap. So then we've got a bit of a gap after Pip Hammond, and in 8th is Bill Wright, Steve Bowden, there's the damaged car of Deegan, but he's overtook 13 cars a lap. One as Matt Digby goes off again, he's on the grass coming out of Murray's as the leaders come across the line. Then Tom Bell with Joe Ferguson behind him, and Joe Ferguson in that second place, that's easily good enough for the championship. Jarvis here after his spin, he's having a side-by-side race across the line with Jeff Humphreys in the 31 cars. They head down towards Riches, and for the first time these two almost right at the back after a very poor first lap. They've got Chris Mealing in front of them and trying to come around the outside still of Humphreys. It's Jarvis and the three of them now, with Chris Mealing there, the novice drivers right in front of them, late on the brake. Paul Jarvis almost into the back of him. Chris Drake in here as well, he goes round the outside through Montreal, the inside in for Montreal, when he goes through, gains 2 positions. That's a good run through Chapman, and he's going to attack Jeff Humphreys. They go down towards Brundle. There's another slower car in front of them, but both of them getting a good run out the corner there, and they should be able to challenge Chris Kessel, I believe. Well, they've already got past him down to the amount of pace they were carrying, and Paul Jarvis is going to be under him as well as he heads through Brundle and Nelson for the second lap of this 13-minute plus 1 lap race. He flings the car over the curb there at Nelson, so the top two still together. Then Bell and Ferguson nose it out. Now in third is Jake Farndon, he's booked up ahead of Martin Ward. Then we got Fincher and Fletcher in 5th and 6th. Pip Hammond having a lonely race there in 7th. Then it's Wright, Deegan in 9th. 10th is Wayne Harris, he had that grassy moment. Then it's Howland and Roughton. Then Matt Digby, Freddie's car star race for Harry Camping. Then goes up on the inside of Nick Ford and Jones again in place. Andrew Harding has a massive moment, onto the grass he goes. Lots of action going on at the beginning of this stock catch race here at Snetterton. The final round of the championship. There's Harding's moment at Murray's. Lost maybe a place in that, yes. Through goes Sam Strong. They've both been passed by Chris Drake now. Chris Drake on and charge. We expect him to be a championship contender in 2013, along with Shane Deegan, 2 short track oval specialists. They've been, as well as Tom Bell. Tom Bell, of course, during the whole year and challenging for the championship. Now Harding's going to have a go again past Strong. Remember, Harding involved in the first lap shenanigans at Riches. And up on the inside he goes to gain that place back through Brundle then. I think, is that Neil Trotter in the MG? Chris Drake's next target. Bell perhaps with a car length this time to Ferguson, but Ferguson flicks the car through Murray's, tries to get the car close to him, and Patrick Fletcher's up to 5th. He's got ahead of Matt Fincham. No, come through corner is this queue of cars for 8th. It's Harris there at the moment, Deeganson in 9th, then we've got Powsland in 10th, then Phil Wright, he's dropped back down to 11th, then it's off Harry Campy goes off big time, losing the car out of corner there, the car spinning towards the barriers there, and are we expecting that he will rejoin? Out of camera shot at the moment. Yes, there he is, Harry Campy getting back onto the road there, the youngster, the 16-year-old, showed some good performances within the top 15 as Matt Digby there gains a position. He goes up in front of Phil Wright. He's going to carry Mousen as well, because Mousen was in front of him. What I was saying for Harry Campy had his big moment. Now what can Matt Digby do about Steve Howland as they come down towards the Snetterton Bridge? They will go under it side by side because Matt Digby moves up on the inside into Brundle corner and gains another position. Just gained 3 positions in the space of about 5 corners. So Digby moving up the order. He had that violent spin out of Ritchie's on lap 1. So, trying to gain some more positions. As Jake Barnden's caught up the top 2 now. So we've got 3 for the lead. It's Bell, Ferguson and Barnden in those first 3 positions. About a third of the way through this race. So there's, you can see Digby on the back of Wayne Harris. Shane Deegan. I reckon he must have made his way to the pits because that was a massive amount of damage. There's Chris Drake. He's now behind Nick Carter. So that's a strong performance again from Chris Drake. Of course, he must have got involved in those first lap problems, but Drake moving his way up through the field quickly, looking for yet another strong finish. Harry Campy there, just getting another place or 2. He tries to come back through the field as now Matt Digby moves up on the inside to go ahead of Wayne Harris into Montreal hairpin, and then for the left-hander and Chapman. Harris perhaps looking for a stronger run down the Bentley straight, but I think Matt Digby, his expertise in the Stock Catch Championship, has got himself a good enough run down the straight to stay ahead of Wayne Harris. Matt Digby, the double race winner at Cadwell Park, 3rd meeting of the year, struggled in the first 2 rounds, but come back at Cadwell Park looking to be championship contender. Couldn't quite get towards his 2nd championship position as he had last year, but another good result he had happened in the series. Patrick Fletcher runs 5th. He was a champion last year, but has not had the luck, not had the success of last year. He's going to get a top 10 championship finish, but not that much to the top 10, so he'll be slightly disappointed with that, I'm sure. Chris Drake is now past Fulton Jones and Carter, so he continues to charge up the field. A bit of a mistake there for Neil Trotter in the MG. Paul Jarvis moves ahead of him then as he continues his recovery from the disappointment of the incident that he had at Ritchie's on lap 1. The race of the weekend for Paul Jarvis, but he's had some strong performances in 2012, so he'll be looking to improve on those for next year if he continues with this series. Andrew Harding on his recovery drive at the moment has a bit of clear track in front of him. They'll be trying to close the car in front. Barnden's got ahead of Ferguson, so Ferguson down to 3rd, still strong for the champion though. Patrick Fletcher on the back of Martin Ward, that's the battle for 4th. Now Pip Hammond starting to be closed in by Matt Digby now. Hammond's had a lonely race so far, his car down on power this weekend. So he'll be hoping to get a top 10 result, but it's still looking possible in this race. There's Andrew Harding, who we were on board with a moment ago. He's just ahead of Jeff Humphreys in that Citroen C2. He hasn't done the whole year, but he's had into that Citroen. Not the Saxo with most of the drivers are in. Steve Bowden turns through Brundle and Nelson as he continues to try and close back in with Wayne Harris. It's Farndon still on the tack of the race leader. Tom Bell is starting to smoke. I don't know if that's a problem with the race leader's car, but that was quite a lot of smoke coming off of Tom Bell. We'll have to have a look at that as the battle's on for 7th, and Digby's got ahead of Pip Hammond. So Matt Digby up to 7th, down to 8th for Pip Hammond. Wayne Harris is the next driver who Pip Hammond's got to be watching out for in his mirrors. 12:13 for 14th, Fortin Jones, Roughton, and Wright were all together there, involved in a nice little scrap. Just a couple or so laps to go now in this race. It's Chris Drager now, moves up on the inside of Steve Powsland. Can he go through? No, not quite, but he's right underneath him now. So they turn through Nelson. Chris Drager, see there in the rear view camera, looks on the inside for the bomb hole. Powsland blowing him through just as of yet. Top 3 together, and it's Jake Farndon that leads now. He's got ahead of Tom Bell. There's round number 4 between Martin Ward and Patrick Fletcher. That battle continues. Matt Digby, Pip Hammond and Wayne Harris still closing up on him. Powsland still ahead of Drake there, but Chris Drake fighting hard right on the tail of Steve Powsland. So that battle continue as they come across the line. It's Terry Roughton slowing, a problem for Terry Roughton. He'll be going into retirement, I presume. Not unless he can solve that. He's not coming into the pit lane, we can see, so he's continuing. Retirement we've had have been Shane Deegan, George Bluff and Kevin Condon. 24 cars still going. Ben Ford and Gary Brandon did not make a start. Now we've got a replay here. Steve Powsland arm up in the air because it seems that Powsland go back for the leaders, and it's up to 2nd for Joe Ferguson. He's got ahead of his championship contender or championship rival Tom Bell. So Ferguson looking very good for the championship now. We have only 1 lap left at the end of this, so they come across the line to start their final lap. It's looking good for Joe Ferguson to take the 2012 750 Motor Club Demon Tweets and Yokohama Stock Caps Championship. Andrew Harding flinging his car up over the curbs, up on the 2 wheels. On board of Pip Hammond and Wayne Harris. Much more speed down the straight. He goes in front now. Pip Hammond trying to come back at him under braking for Brundle there, but I think Wayne Harris has got that move done. He's up to 8th position and the final lap of the series. And to take the final race of the year, it's going to be Jake Farndon. He's going to come up across the line to take the race, but more importantly behind him, Joe Ferguson. He's going to take the championship, the 2012 champion, and Joe Ferguson. He takes that. Pip Hammond still just behind Wayne Harris. So Harris is going to get that 8th. Powsland and Fortin Jones still battling it out. Powsland's lost some places last lap or so. Now Andrew Harding, he's going to give a last gasp effort to get ahead of Phil Wright. Wright runs a bit wide, was going to give Harding the run down the centre straight now. And Harding coming up alongside. They come across the line. It's going to be almost a dead heat there, and to come up on the time screen, Phil Wright beat Harding just by 200 of a second. But here are your results. So Farndon taking the race, Ferguson taking the championship in 2nd, and Tom Bell finishes 3rd. He's had a strong season as well. 4th went to Martin Ward, 5th to Patrick Fletcher, and to round up the top 6th it was Matt Fincham. But here are the championship results, and Joe Ferguson winning by just 12 points in the end. Matt Digby then 3rd, not that far behind either. In 4th, Andrew Tibbs, 5th, Martin Ward, and to round up the top 6th in the race and in the championship is Matt Fincham.